Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a GameReplays.org Heroes of Newerth cast. Today we have the GosuGamers Druidz versus Wahlin, and this is for the Steel Series $40,000 tournament. I'm not too sure as to how far into the tournament we are, but this is just set up today, and of course Druidz and Wahlin have at least advanced this far to take on each other. I've heard great things about both teams. Today I am the Four Court Jester, and with me co-casting is Maroc from the HoN community. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing just great. Looking forward to this promising matchup. How about you?
Promising indeed. I haven't seen Revy play live in a while, and I've heard really great things coming out of Wahlin as for all their teamwork and their nice counter banning.
Oh yeah, indeed. You know, I've had the pleasure of playing with him twice, and I've been our team has been stomped on both occasions, and I'm very impressed with the team. I think they're could be looking to make a breakthrough into the top 10 any day now, so keep an eye out for them, definitely.
Yeah, I'll keep one eye glued to them and one eye to the rest of everyone else. So we have gone through the bans, and what do we got on the plate today, sir?
Well, pretty pedestrian bans so far, so to say. I mean, you know, Devourer, Dr. Repulsor, sort of the usual suspects, Tundra as well, and Thunderbringer, all really strong mid heroes. Sandraid's actually interesting ban coming out here. You know, he's just like the hard carry, so to speak. So definitely also a viable ban if you don't want to deal with him. And Andromeda, you know, just a really strong trident support hero. So you know, it's a pretty standard ban so far, to be honest.
Yeah, the streak will continue. I will still not see a Dr. Repulsor this week, apparently, as I think I'm up to 10 or 15 streaks now of not seeing him around.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I mean, he's a really fun hero, but again, you can't blame teams for not wanting to face against him. I mean, he's such a powerful hero, and just offers so many tactical possibilities that, you know, you'd have to prepare something specific for Dr. Repulsor. That's just a headache you don't want to deal with. Pretty
much, yeah. Can't agree more. All right, so we did have the first picks coming out. I do believe Pebbles was first pick there for Legion, and now they've finished up their lineup with a Valkyrie, Flint Beastwood, Pharaoh, Pebbles, Glacius. Of course, you can't go a game without a Glacius, and they're looking pretty strong for initiation there.
Oh yeah, definitely. Also, very versatile lineup. They can go a number of different ways. You know, they can go 2-1-2, 2-2-1. Just very versatile lineup. So I'm excited to see how they're gonna split these lanes up.
Who do we got on Hellborn?
Well, I mean, again, Soul to the Pestilence with that minus armor combination, and Hellbringer, you know, can dip both solo lane, can support depending on how you choose to play him, and but great initiation as well, and of course, Witchslayer does, you know, that. Very versatile hero. Just you know, support, ganker, whatever. And we see them highlighting Chipper here, so that's definitely going to be interesting, and a lot of teamfight capability on this team, especially of the ultimate from Soulstealer, Hellbringer, and of course Chipper.
Well, that'd be a lot of AoE as well. Tartos with the Saw Blades, of course the Malphus drop, Pestilence with his AoE, Soulstealer with his massive AoE, and even a Graveyard Linear there from the Witch. So that could be a very hard for Druids here to deal with.
Yeah, and definitely. I mean, this is. But then again, you look over the Legion side. I mean, they also have pretty nice teamfight presence, especially with that Pebbles and Pharaoh just going in and disabling a couple of heroes before things have even kicked off. So very interesting teamfights could be in store for us here.
Now, you mentioned the negative armor coming out of Soulstealer and Pestilence. Of course, the Pestilence ultimate will last like a bazillion seconds on anyone. But Hellbringer with his, I believe, Life Void will also give that negative magic armor. So they're kind of covering both their bases there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, again, when do you see a Pestilence without a Soulstealer? I mean, they sort of go hand in hand, and I'm gonna go out on a limb and say if the Andromeda wasn't banned, then she'd probably be squeezed into that lineup as well, maybe instead of the Hellbringer, because that sort of minus armor is such a very old but also very effective lineup right there. So you know, sticking to what works.
Yeah, well, hey, whatever works typically will get you through the night. So these guys are almost all set up and ready to go here. So, I don't know, kind of predictions for the lanes. You said the 2-1-2, 2-1-2, whatever, for the Legion could be very viable. I don't really see too much of a tri-lane forming there either.
No, exactly. I mean, they could choose for something that's sort of you know, orthodox, and maybe send the the Flint Beastwood in the short lane, then go Valkyrie Pharaoh. It's a very powerful lane, same as Pebbles Glacius, sort of underrated, but a strong, both really strong lanes, effective for killing. And maybe Flint solo. I mean, you know, we could see that. We could see a number of different combinations. I mean, it's gonna be interesting. Maybe the Pebbles will solo and Glacius go with the Flint. They've got a very versatile lineup, which is something that I personally like a lot. But we are going to see them move out. And Flint looks like he is going to move out, solo that bottom lane, as I said. So, you know, maybe we'll see... that's definitely interesting. You know, we don't often see a hard carry in the solo lane, but he can definitely do that with his range and everything. Tower hogging and farming. So,
tower hogging or hugging?
Hogging. Hogging.
Well, with that range, of course, he probably could hog the towers all to himself, simply because they can't just fire back. But for this Legion side, they got 4 going up top, looking probably to do a big gank here on whoever they send. It is that Chipper up there who has a set of wards. It is Valkyrie. So they're probably going to put an offensive one right down by the tower. Do you think a level 1 tower dive is going to be in order?
Could definitely be. I mean, they might set up a ward. Yeah, exactly. They're going to set up a ward there, so hoping to catch someone on the way to the tower. Unfortunately, what they probably don't know is the Chipper is already there, so they're probably not going to get too much out of this gank attempt.
Well, you got to try something beginning. We had something similar go down for the Hellborn. They threw down 2 typical ward spots there in the creep camp to disable the spawn, and of course the river as well. And they had 3 go down there, but they're not going to run into anyone. It's like a ghost town of a map right now. Nobody has any idea where any of them are.
Yeah, and we see Hellborn trying to, by the way, run a tri lane down bottom with Hellbringer. Not a big fan of Hellbringer in tri lanes, but it can work. Pestilence offensive tri lane is something we've also seen quite a bit. Swordstealer soloing that mid. Although I do believe that Hellborn is they're gonna have to work some rotations here. I mean, they can't just against this 2-2-1 strategy. If that is indeed what they're running, they can't afford to face 2 heroes shutting down their Swordstealer and 2 heroes top shutting down their Chipper. So interesting to see how they're gonna cope with this. This very interesting lane setup.
Yeah, I'm just going to ask for a pause here, so we will be right back. Sorry about that, folks, but the mods are definitely now working once again, so great use of a pause there, I think. Casters shouldn't ask for a pause. Bad, Jester, bad. But anyway, so, yeah, that was a little bit. So now we got the lanes kind of solidified up. What do we got with Glacius and Valkyrie over there?
Oh, yeah, they're just trying to set up a first blood. I imagine after they've made that attempt. Oh, unfortunately, not gonna hit with that arrow. But Valkyrie probably gonna roam to top and lane with... Actually, they've moved Flint Beastwood up here. This is gonna be interesting. Flint Beastwood Valkyrie lane. That would be a first. But that's interesting.
Well,
but,
Glacius is also heading up as well.
Also, maybe some sort of... Well, I don't know what's going on right now, to be honest. I mean, this is indeed sort of a very interesting setup that the Legion team is going for here.
Well, it looks like just a typical triple lanes, the tri lanes, going up. The Legion's going to come up top for this Chipper and, of course, the Hellborn. So far, they've now reduced to a double down here. They only got the Pharaoh. He's not really too much to worry about. He's just going to snotball a lot of people a few times. And now we got Witchslayer rotating mid to help shut down that Pebbles, which is kind of what they want to be doing. They want to give Soulsteer as much farm as possible early game, get up his gold per minute, get up his experience, use those Demon Hands to great effect, and at the same time shut down this Pebbles being played by Revy, because it, as we all know, a farmed Pebbles, get that quick portal key can definitely be very hazardous to your enemy's health.
Yeah, definitely, and we're gonna see something that we have actually seen before. I've seen it in a few matches, and I'm not a big fan of it though. It looks like we're gonna see a roaming Valkyrie. She seems to be going from lane to lane, carrying some mana pots and chucking out some arrows. I have honestly not seen it work yet, but I get the idea.
Has she landed an arrow yet?
No, she has not. 2 failed attempts so far, unfortunately. But again, if she does land an arrow, obviously that is a pretty easy way to set up a kill, especially if it's a 5-second one.
Mm-hmm.
But she is going to be roaming and now picking up that invis, so maybe she can set up something with that. Meanwhile, Bloodlust up top, I didn't even catch that. Did you catch that?
Yeah, Mr. Chipper there getting off a great last rocket onto that Flint Beastwood, but he was also kind of being body blocked by Glacius and just trying to stay, keep him away from that Flint, trying to take the hits for that rocket, but unfortunately it snaked right by him into the face of the Orc, and he went down. It was pretty close. I mean, Chipper had lots of opportunities to go down as well. Who else might be going down? That Valkyrie, those Demon Hands coming out. Level 2 Demon Hands, indeed, with that level 3 bonus for Soulsteer, so she goes down really nicely and easily. I mean, that was 300 damage, plus the Graveyard, plus a few auto attacks, and, I mean, this early game, we're 2 minutes into the game, so everyone is... Like, what's the highest level? Level 4. And what's the highest health pool we have? 700-ish? So, it's really easy to snipe people at this point.
Yeah, definitely. And also, by the way, worth noting about that kill in mid, the last 2 Demon Hands were actually landed blindly since she was out of the side of this Water Violation. So, great job by Swordstealer there. And also, Chipper up top, getting a kill against Flint Beastwood 1v2. I mean, things are just really working out here for Wahlin.
Early game dominance, 3 minutes in, and can't get too much better than that.
5-second arrow onto Witchslayer now, and he's going to be taken down.
Nicely done. So a little bit of a revenge kill there in the mid. Doop-a-doop.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure this is working for the team. I was really sort of something. I'm a big fan of the Pharaoh Valkyrie lane, but I don't know. I mean, if I agree with this setup, I mean, they sort of. It seems like this Valkyrie and also the Glacier just roaming between top and mid, which I mean, it can be effective as in some in some situations. But this Valkyrie is just she's getting no farm, she's getting no experience, and if she doesn't pick it up at some point, she's gonna be completely useless late game or any phases of the game really.
Well, mid to late, early to mid should definitely be useless. Might be able to pick it up late simply because of the fact of team fights and getting assists if she can ever land any of those arrows.
No,
like exactly that one, 5-second arrow on that Soul Steer, but just great support coming out of Witchslayer. Not going to be going down on that Soul Steer. So I mean, yeah, 5-second arrows could change the course of history right now, but no, not quite yet.
I don't know why he didn't shock there, Pebbles. He had mana for it. That's a mystery to me.
Who knows? Alright, so down south we had Pep3 playing that Pharaoh all by himself against this double lane. He got taken out. I wasn't too sure as to all the details, but you can probably reasonably assume a slow with a Blood Boil. Pestilence catches up with Flight and lands down that stun.
Yeah, I mean they a Hellbringer Pestilence, you know, seemingly not so strong, so stronger lane when you look at it, but they've got so much, you know, if so much harass and sort of harass from the Hellbringer, and just going in with that stun, especially level 6, it becomes really effective. And when they're going 2v1, I mean Pharaoh, he just needs to be basically within range of that slow. They can really hurt him if he's not by his tower.
Well, speaking of all that kind of experience stuff, I mean, usually you'd like to see that Hellbringer in his own leagues to get that level 6 Malphus up for the great initiation, like really early initiation. But of course they did send him down here with the try, which turned into the double lane. But they also, on the flip side, I mean, the Pharaoh Valkyrie lane is a great lane, but of course they split that up as well. So I mean, maybe these guys know something we don't. Looks like bad news for that Soul Steer in the mid as Pebbles lands a fist of rock in his face.
Unfortunately that arrow missed. That could have been a kill. Wow, she's gonna go all in here. No, she is gonna back.
She's going to use all her mana, sure. Oh, what's going on up top? Chipper goes down to this Flint Beast with a little bit of revenge. Level 6 popping on the Beast, but his ult's still up, so I do not think it was a factor. But, of course, Glacius.
No, he got level 6 after the kill.
Yeah, great slows and stuns there by the Glacius. It just lets that range on Beastwood come out to great effect.
Yeah, it's definitely a Glacier Beastwood lane, by the way. It's a very solid lane, indeed. Which is also something, you know, it's something that is fairly common. But I just, you know, I didn't really consider it because I couldn't really see what else they were gonna run with. But you know, it's definitely an effective lane. And Flint Beastwood is getting his farm, it seems, actually being... Oh, no, not the top farm again. Pestilence is actually the top farm on the game with 31 creep kills, although Flint pretty close by with 28 now. Speaking of Pharaoh, he's going to be taken out in bottom lane, meanwhile. Yeah,
speaking of Pestilence with the top farm, oh, he didn't actually have the kill, sorry, that was the Hellbringer. I was going to say, another great addition to that farm would be that kill, but that didn't happen. So. Yeah. But I don't know, right now it's, you know, it's 4-3. They've caught up a little bit, so Druidz showing that, you know, they're not going to take this without a fight. And everything's still pretty balanced at this point. No real extraneous pressure on any of the towers. The lanes are going back and forth. Overall, I'd say Hellborn are pushing a lot better on the lanes, just due to like pressure and all that. Chipper, I mean, gets a lot of harassment, but he is 2v1. But mid and bottom, I think, have been clearly won so far by the Hellborn. And what? Oh, the level 6 came out on the Beastwood, did it?
Yeah. I think he used his money shot to finish off that kill. Yes, he did. It's on cooldown, so pretty. Oh wow, they're gonna go on Soul Stealer here, and they. Oh no, Pebbles missing his stalagmites.
Poor Revy. Where's the stun arrow? There's the stun arrow, and the stun arrow, however, going to get dodged pretty simply here. And I don't know, Pebbles. Another 1 second to the chuck is gonna chuck him straight up. Fist of rock, yeah, to the face, and now he's going to have to retreat from this level 5 Chipper. They did a great job keeping down Chipper. Chipper is 5 on a 2-on-1 lane, and we got level Beastwood at 7. So I think the top lane definitely in Druid's favor there.
Oh yeah, definitely. And again, I'm not really sure why they didn't sort of. Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't understand why when this, Hellbringer helping Pestilence getting definitely the upper hand over this Pharaoh, and why the Hellbringer doesn't just retreat from this lane and go help out somewhere else. Because it's not like this Pestilence can't dominate Pharaoh at this point going 1v1. I mean, they should be able to with no problem. So Hellbringer being level 5 could easily be redirected to supporting another lane like top, for